All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, and so let's jump into it. Hope everyone had a great day, first of all. All right, so Dow Jones debit spreads. Dow Jones debit spreads were May 9th is the expiration, 385 on the long call, 395 on the short call. 470 is what I paid for those. I sold those today at 630 for a 35% gain. And I just traded my plan, the exact same thing that I talked about yesterday, where the futures open up if market opens pretty large, I may just blow all these out first thing. And that's exactly what I did right away, first thing, like on this drop here, boom. Now, if I waited, I would have gotten like extra 10% or so more, which would have been pretty sweet. But, or like 7%, something. I don't know. But regardless, 35% gain in this market is fantastic. And again, those are, month out debit spreads. So again, these are a conservative way to make outsized returns. These aren't 0 day or, expiring in a week, on Friday, for example, none of that. So yeah, I'm happy with that. My plan was, like I said last night, I already talked about this. Depending on how far up, the market opens, I'll just blow them out. And that's what I did. So that's that. The other thing that I did today was FXI took this for a loss, for a loser. Any close below 30, I was going to get out. Now, after hours, it's looking pretty good. But those are FXI. May 16 is the expiration, $31 strike price, $193 is what I paid for them. Sold them for $128, which is also a 35% loss. Now, my position size for the Dow Jones debit spreads were double in terms of dollar amount, double what the calls for FXI were. So even with copper getting slammed again today, let's see how it's looking right now. Whatever. Even with copper getting slammed today, I still had a nice, decent gain in the portfolio today. And that's just because position sizing is important. Why would I have more, double the amount in terms of dollar amount with the Dow Jones debit spreads than I would with FXI, a Chinese position? Is just simply due to conviction. I just, that's it. I've never ever been a fan of Chinese equities. So yeah, just conviction. Now, below this 30, I thought about holding on to these, but I wasn't willing to take these all the way down here, to 28. I just wasn't willing to do it. So, whatever. All right, moving on. Copper, I'm still in these calls. I think these are down pretty heavily. So copper, May 16, $29 strike price. I added to these at the low, so my cost basis on these is probably right around $1. I didn't write these down. This is going to be a shorter video. Hopefully it's going to be a shorter video. I have been super busy. Like I said, this whole week is going to be pretty wild, but I still want to get these videos out, and that really this is the only time that I have to do them. So, and they help me out too, and I hope they help some people out. And so yeah, even with copper, Dow, FXI down, the overall gain on the account today was like 2% day or something. So that's fantastic, and that's all just due to position sizing. And the position sizing was based on conviction. So that's it. There's not really any secret sauce. I have a whole video on position sizing. If you guys want to check that out, it is in one of the playlists. I think I only have like 3 playlists or something, so it's not that hard to find it. So that's that. That's all the positions. Corn. Still corn. Wow. Gave back a lot of the gains here, but I still think this looks fine. Again, like I said, I'm not tying up any capital whatsoever. My position sizing, as well as my positions are extremely light. This is literally the only thing I have on. So, and copper. But anyways, yeah. So corn still looks good. Whatever. I think this looks great. Corn futures are up here. I'll probably close this out for a couple percentage point gain tomorrow or so. I'd be happy with that. Take the win and move on. In this market, it's like take whatever you can. Take what's given. That's just as simple as that. Being a place to receive what the market gives, and that's it. All right, now let's go over indexes. So let's look at Russell first of all. Is this still below 2,000? Yeah. Jeez. Oh. Wow, pretty significantly below. Oh man, I really haven't been looking at Russell. But gosh, man. Yeah. Russell, we're going over here to SPY. Again, I kind of like this for another bounce for tomorrow. So, but again, like I said, these are, for that bounce for tomorrow, is just going to be intraday trades. Again, you take what the market gives, and that's all that's been working real nicely. So that's all that there is really, until proven otherwise, right? Until proven otherwise, you just are in a place to receive. Down. Okay, so let's go over to NASDAQ here, and again, I could see some sort of bounce for tomorrow. I could totally see a nice little bounce for tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow could be a lot of fun. Tomorrow could be a great day. Yeah, I could see a little bounce. All right, let's go over Mag 7. Just hold that 350 level. Weekly chart. Yeah, holding that 350 level. Again, anything below a 200-day moving average is off limits. Anything below, the 50-day moving average is off limits. But so long as it's above the 200-day, I'll still try at the 200-day moving average. But below 200-day moving average is completely off limits for any sort of directional play other than a short. Just like I discussed last night. Don't want to get too long on the tooth here. I went into pretty decent detail, I feel like, last night. But, in terms of a bounce, again, like I said, take what the market can give. Sort of intraday, you don't want to be short here. This is not a position to be short. This is a position to take advantage of any bounce while keeping the risk very low. Super tight, very little risk. And also for a relatively small gain as well, and that's totally okay. We're not trying to hit any home runs, not going to be a millionaire overnight. right? These things they build, they take time. This market, what you can get is smaller moves, and in terms of any sort of directional play, just intraday. Wait for a bounce up and before looking to get short. Okay, Nvidia. It just looks terrible. Nvidia, Apple. Whoa, Apple was down 5% today. My goodness. Yeah, I'm just really surprised with Apple. I mean, it does make sense with the tariffs and what's going on with China, because Apple makes a lot of money from the Chinese market. So, okay. Let's look at Taiwan Semiconductor. Yeah, just totally slammed. I mean, hey, this is, a decent place to try for a bounce. Anything below 140, you would cut it. All right, let's look at Meta. Kind of same thing. Anything below 500, you would cut this. Kind of look for a bounce, but again, I mean, these below 200-day moving average, this is a no-go for any meaningful position that you're going to hold for a week, right? Or many months, I should say, kind of more of a long-term, intermediate term. This is, no-go. Below 200-day moving average, that's a no-go. Google. See, same thing. It is good to see, like, a lot of these gaps in here have been filled. All these companies. What was the other one? Apple. So this gap in here has been filled. And in fact, it went below it and rebounded a little, so that's good to see. Let's look at Amazon. Yeah, shoot. I do like a bounce from here going into tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow could be a lot of fun. I kind of thought tomorrow was going to suck. But I don't think so anymore. I think it could be a lot of fun. Let's look at this. So that's all Mag 7. I'm probably missing some. I always miss some. Whatever. Holy moly. Netflix is holding up fantastic. Netflix is like, what bear market are you guys talking about? All right, let's look at Tesla. Yeah, it's just pretty terrible. All right. So, okay, let's go over to futures and see how we're looking heading into tomorrow. All right, so like I said, I could see a couple longs placed. That'll work on the daily. So now let's go 4 hours. So this is kind of my process here, you guys. So 4 hour, okay. You have some sort of level here that you can see where, if you think of from the previous day's low, or I guess this was Sunday night. Yeah, that was Sunday night. Yeah. It says right here. From Sunday night's kind of low, not low, but you see what I'm saying, kind of right in here. You would want it to sort of find that support area right here where you think it would be. So that's good to see that. And, no extreme levels to the upside, right? Because I'm thinking about, am I going to be placing, am I going to be buying futures contracts versus selling them? And I think I'm going to be buying them for tomorrow. Look for some longs. See, same thing. Stochastic down here, RSI down there. Is this some sort of trend line that has been broken that gives you some more conviction as well? All right, so now we're going into 30 minutes. And Okay, whatever, no signal. No signal, no signal. Again, basically what this is showing me right now currently is, so if I'm thinking about, am I going to be placing a trade right now? The answer would be no, even though on the hour and the 4 hour it looks good, because we're getting into sort of kind of more of kind of overbought. Again, you guys know I hate to use that term, overbought or oversold, but it serves its purpose. Just know it as an asterisk. But 30-minute and 15-minute, we're getting up here into the more extreme levels, right? So, these things ebb and flow, so you'll want to wait. I would want to wait for this to come back down. So right here, there's no obvious trade to place. So now we'll go into the 5-minute. And again, no obvious trade to place. Now, if you'll notice here, the tails on the upside of these candles, the wicks to the upside, that is a sign to look out below. And this very likely will come down. So again, there's no trade to take right here. And then now we'll go into the 2-minute chart, because I have been messing around with the 2-minute chart. And again, look for this to kind of continue to come down. And so if during the trading day, or let's say, for example, right now I'm at my desk ready to place a trade, I would be sitting here and then just waiting. Waiting for an obvious sign of a reversal. And if it's not an obvious sign of a reversal here, I would not go after it, because again, like I said, the 15-minute is kind of extended here. And the 30-minute is also kind of extended here. So there's a little day trading tutorial for you guys. People love day trading. Let's go over Japan. And yeah, like I said, I guess I could see a bounce. Okay. Oh shoot, we have to go over bonds, and then I'm gonna call it a night here. I mean, slaughtered. This is what you don't want to see. This is, the 3-year auction today was the worst auction since the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and COVID. So, credit markets are in real trouble, real trouble. And so now that brings me over to real estate, and just, wow. Really crashing. All right, let's go to home builders. Just absolutely crashing. Completely crashing. This has got a gap all the way down here at 75 to fill. And before this bear market is over, that will, fill that. So, if you think there's not enough, there's no way markets can head lower, they certainly can and do. All right. Biotech. It's getting awfully close down here to this gap fill down here. But, I would love to see a biotech be of value, Clearly there are some things that are absolutely of value, and drugs that they have made, clearly, but I would say overall not, because companies like Pfizer, right? Ask what disease or what cure has Pfizer ever come up with, right? Pfizer's been around for 100 years or something. I don't know exactly, don't quote me on that, but they've been around for a long time, and what disease, what cures have they come up with? So I guess the positive in this could be, they might think, hey, maybe we need to rethink our business model and do things of value, right? Let's look at Johnson & Johnson. Man, just crushed. AbbVie. Crushed. Let's look at communications, terrible. Let's look at utilities, terrible. I mean, where is anyone hiding? They're not. And no position is a position, you guys. Don't ever forget that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to look at. There's nothing else going on other than, gold does look good to give this a run around the 50 day. But these last 3 days are very troubling because look at this volume. So if we'll think about since gold's bull market has started, it's been right here. So this was the start of the bull market. When has this ever looked like it was the last 3 trading days during this bull market? And the answer is never. Huge selling. Now, what a lot of that selling, I think, was, I know, I don't know the percentage of the selling, what percentage, but I know during those 3 days, gold was used as collateral for margin calls for institutional investors. To satisfy their debts, lots of gold was sold. So, do you give it a pass? Maybe. Will I try this off the 50 day? I probably will. I'm gonna give it some time. Maybe something that's a little bit more obvious, right? During a bull market, it's kind of like boom, something hits the 50, jump on it. But that has not been working. So we'll wait on this. Now let's go over to silver. And wow. Yeah, tomorrow could be really fun. I could see gold kind of ripping up for a little bit tomorrow. You got some sort of trading range here. Break above that. Let's see here. Hourly chart. See, really nice. Kind of wait for a pullback. Yeah, I think tomorrow could be a lot of fun. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that was it. I feel like that was longer than I wanted to make it. And so I'll try my best for tomorrow. I really don't know. I'm happy I was able to get a video out this evening. We'll see what happens tomorrow and the rest of the week. If I really don't have any positions on, or really not doing anything, which I really haven't been for a couple months, it's kind of like, what do you talk about? Like, oh, things still look bad, I have 0 positions. But, on Monday, there was a trade to take. And so I really wanted to get that video out on Monday. And then today, the positions that I closed and why I closed them out and how everything worked out, I wanted to get a video out. So anyways, you guys, hope you have an amazing evening.